Hello YouTube, my name is Lars and I recently bought a cheap Canon EOS camera, a first generation mirrorless. I needed a camera that could deliver higher quality than my phone. 1080p is fine, I don't need any fanciness. I found one used with a 22mm lens, which is the one I'm filming this with. And since I had a few old and actually moldy pieces of Minolta glass laying around in a bag, I found a $9 mounting adapter. I figured a $9 investment would be the clever thing to do. I'll include a link to the one I bought in the description. Today we'll go over a kit lens type, a macro and a tele lens, and of course the adapter itself. Now I haven't seen any examples of an adapter in use with a lens on YouTube, so I figured I'd upload some. I'll get over to my window because I'm shooting in Denmark. It's 11 o'clock and it's basically dark outside. I'm sorry if this is just horrible. Thanks. One quick thing. Before you're able to use an adapter, you need to enable the camera to take a photo without having a lens on. The camera thinks you don't have a lens on because it doesn't communicate with the old lenses. So it won't release the shutter unless you ask it to. You can find this in the last bracket of controllability. I'm sorry, this is in Danish. But you just get in there and enable this function. You'll be fine. So here's everything that I was able to pull from the old and moldy bag. Now the adapter is a simple distance piece. It has a Canon M mount on one side and a Minolta MD MC mount, which is actually called an SR mount. Everything is manual. There's no communication between the lens and the camera body. There never was basically for these. If you don't mind pulling your own focus, it's a fine deal. First we have the Pangor E. It says auto, but there's nothing auto about it that I found. Not with my old Minolta X300 and certainly not with the EOS M. This is all shot with 28 to 80mm. This would be the sort of universal kit type of lens, except for the Canon's crop factor of 1.6, making this like a 45 to 128mm equivalent. I also bought an ND filter, which seems to work fine, but the quality of this lens is actually just not good enough that I think I'll be using it. It's very milky. They haven't been stored properly. That's made them sort of cloudy. Maybe it's mildew, maybe it's dust, something in that line, but I don't know. I only know what the results are, and they're not that great. Next, we have a Minolta 28mm macro, and I think this is the most fun of this bundle. It's a 45mm equivalent, and it has a crazy amount of control from the 20 centimeters nearest focus point up to about a meter away. Also, it seems to be in the best shape of these three. I'm still not entirely convinced that it's better for macro shots than the 22mm pancake lens from Canon itself, but if I didn't have that, I'd certainly be using this one. I haven't used it enough yet to make a solid judgment. It'll do fine for open scenery as well, something without too shallow a depth of field. I think this one lens is what makes this whole purchase feasible. It's way better than the others. Last we have the Minolta 75 to 200 tele. This is a 120 to 320 equivalent. Yeah, and this one has a macro setting as well, so you can focus on stuff really up close to you, but like way zoomed in. Maybe that's your thing. And I don't have any stabilization or anything, not in the camera body and not in the lenses. Furthermore, they don't speak together, so I don't know how useful this is going to be. I certainly won't be needing it for my stuff, but it's there, so I might as well take a look, see what it can do. If you film kind of far, yeah, it depends on your needs. Also, please bear in mind that all the footage in this video is shot with Magic Lantern installed on the camera, along with the CineStyle input, without any type of grading in post. Alright, but now you've seen some actual examples, and I hope this will make you decide whether this is something for you. Thanks for watching, cheers.